Hi guys, today I thought I'd just show you something quick and easy. It's been a terrible week, horrible in fact. I'm not going to go into details other than to say I buried my friend yesterday, so I haven't really been in the mood for creating or doing a tutorial, but I'm going to try this today. It's not much, but it's something just to get me back into it and just to give you guys something. So I've rolled out some clay on the thickest setting, some white Premo. You'll also need a square cutter. Now this is a 2-inch square cutter and a 1-inch round cutter. You'll also need a 2-inch eye pin, just those pins that you can get in any craft store with a little hoop on the end. Or you could even use the other ones where it's just like a little pin head. I think they're called head pins maybe, I don't know. You'll also need some Crackle paint like this, because that's how I'm going to crackle this piece. You don't have to do that. You could crackle it just by using a heat gun, entirely up to you, but that's just the way I'm doing it. You'll also need some different colours of alcohol ink. I've just got a selection here: orange, blue, purple, red, green, but the colours, again, your choice. And you will also need a few 6mm beads, and I've got these agate ones and they come on a whole string, and I got those from Amazon. But you don't have to use agate, you can use any kind of bead, 6mm bead. What else do we need? Yeah, we need a brush as well, which I forgot to get, so I'm just going to grab a brush. This is just to put on the Crackle paint. And you'll also need some UV resin at the end, just to resin the piece, if you so wish to resin the piece. Alright, so I've got my clay rolled out. I'm going to take my 2-inch square cutter and cut through. Now this pin is going to run through the whole centre of the piece, and they're both 2 inches. So obviously that's not going to work, but I wanted this to be a rounded piece, so I started off with a larger square because I knew I was going to cut some away, if that makes sense, because I just want to round it off a little bit so it's a more rounded square. I don't care if it's not perfectly equal on all sides. I want this piece to be somewhat rustic. Now, some of you may already have cutters that cut the square this way. I don't have one, so I'm just going to freehand it, and I think it just adds to making it look a little bit more organic. I'm just going to try that bit again, it didn't look right to me. And then I'm just going to tidy it up with my fingers. Just get those little corners nicely rounded off, like so. And whoops, I think that's good. Alright, so a little rounded square like this was 2 inches, cut down to size because it needs to accommodate this pin that's going to run all the way through. So we've got plenty of pin now. Okay, so then I'm going to take my round cutter and just cut out a hole in the centre of the piece. I'm just going to turn it this way because there's a ridge on this cutter that really shows up and I hate it so much, but I'll just put it there so it's not as noticeable. Whoops. So again, I don't care if it's dead centre, I really don't care. It's rough, it's roughly the middle. Okay, and as I said, there's that ridge showing on there, but I'm not too worried about that either. But I am just going to get a little silicone tool and just smooth it off a little bit, just a touch. Like that. Just going to play with this edge a little bit. Alright, so when you've done that, then it's a case of getting your heat gun if you want to crackle it that way, or your distress crackle paint if you want to crackle it that way. And I'm just going to take a soft clean brush and I'm going to put it on fairly thick, and I'm going to put it on, brush it on in different directions. I'm even going to take it a little bit around the edges and on the inside. That way it will help disguise that ridge that was left by that round cutter. But I just want to bring that little bit of crackle onto the inside of oh poo, I did it again. In my practice run I did it. I was supposed to put the eye pin in first, guys, and then do this. Not to worry, I can still do it. But yeah, put your eye pin in first and then do the crackle. See, my head's not in it at the moment, but I'm going to carry on. Anyway, just ignore that bit. Just put your crackle on. Let's get your crackle on there. And then I'm going to have to put the eye pin in now, aren't I? But it would have been better for me to put it in first, but oh well. No big deal. Okay, so then when you've finished with your crackle, well actually no, you're going to put the pin in first. So ignore that I've done the crackle. Oh my gosh, I'm rambling. Ignore that I've done the crackle. Take your head pin. Find the centre of the edge of the pendant, as centre as you can get it. And just gently start to push it through. And it is a little fiddly. Now, if you're not comfortable doing it this way, you could always bake the piece and then drill a hole afterwards if you so wish, but I'm just going to do it this way just because it's quicker. Alright, and then take it right down to the bottom of the pendant. Don't worry about it losing its shape at this point, you can always straighten it out afterwards. And then just try and get it all the way through to the bottom. I didn't quite get it in the right place. Just push it through. And then you'll feel it coming out the other end. Like so. So I've done that. And I'm going to leave it in while it bakes. Okay. So if it got out of shape a little bit, just, you know, mess around with it. And then what you need to do is add your crackle. Add the crackle, add the crackle. Actually, I think I'm going to add a little bit more as well. Because the thicker you add it, the thicker the crackle. So you could do some thicker bits and some not so thick bits. And I'm just going to brush a little bit more on the inside edge of the circle. And I'm leaving it alone now. Alright, so this is it for now. So this has obviously got to, the crackle's obviously got to go and dry. So I've got to leave it to dry for a bit until it's done its crackly goodness. And then I will bake it. So once that's happened, I'll be back. Alright guys, it's been baked and I've sanded the edges actually. Just wanted to give it a little bit of a smoother look. Sanded the back so that's nice and smooth. Simple square pendant. I'm just going to take the pin out now, because obviously we need to add the beads at some point. Alright, so I've got my little square and I've got my alcohol inks, and I'm just going to start, actually I don't think I want the green. Let's try this blue. I'm just opening it over here so that it doesn't get all that crusty stuff falling out everywhere. And I've got a clean dry brush, and I'm just going to drop it on my brush as opposed to the pendant. It just gives me a little bit more control where I want to put the colour, and I'm just dabbing it on there. Okay, now you can keep this vibrant if you want to, or you can get some rubbing alcohol and maybe tone it down a little bit. Entirely up to you. Let's try it both ways. So I'm just going to get that and give it a quick rub. Yep, let me just put that there. Just get a little bit of the alcohol, so you can dilute it a little bit if you want to. Give it a dab. I notice my voice is quite croaky at the moment. I'm not sure why. I don't know. Whoops, my beads are rolling everywhere again. Oh my gosh, I'm all over the place. Alright, let me concentrate. So I'm just going to add a little bit more blue over here. And I'm just going to take some of it on the inside as well. Just brush it on there. Like this. Then I'm going to go with another colour. You know, purple's my favourite colour, so I'm going to go with purple. But I think I might tone it down a little bit. Oh my goodness, these beads are driving me crazy. Let me just clean this off. Try again. So I'm just going to get the purple and just see how that looks. Yeah, I like that. I think I quite like it fairly vibrant as well. So just play around. If you want it vibrant, do it vibrant. If you want to tone it down, excuse me, just get the rubbing alcohol out and tone it down. Something satisfying about alcohol ink just kind of dispersing into the cracks. I don't know what it is, I like it. Making a right mess here, guys. I'm just going to get a little bit with the alcohol on it and just have little toned down areas as well. Now if you wanted to leave white there, you could. It's just all a matter of playing around with it and seeing what you personally like. I'm just going to dab this off a little bit. I feel like it's a little too strong. Maybe just spray this here. Yeah, that's better. I'm just going to rub this around the edges a little bit. So I've just done the purple and the blue. I don't know if I want to add another colour. Again, your choice. I'm just going to think about it for a second though. I'm going to go with this red, I think, if I can get the lid off. I'm just going to... Yeah, I'm just going to spray this and just add a little bit of the red. And it's fine if the colours blend together. Just play around. And I think I'm good before I overload it anymore. Alright, so that's as easy as that, guys, and I'm sure you've seen this technique plenty of times before, but like I say, it was just something to get me back into the groove, so to speak. So I'm just going to tidy up a little bit, and I'm going to set this to one side to completely dry before we move on to the next step. I'll be back. Alright guys, excuse me, I let it dry and I went ahead and resined just the front of it. I haven't done the back, but I did just dab a little bit of alcohol on the back just to give it a bit of a rustic look. I probably will resin the back, but just for the purpose of this video, I've resined the front. And now it's just a case of getting your beads No, not like that. Derp, derp, derp. Pushing this through here first. Oh my goodness me. My brain. And then just popping the beads on. Like so, she says. Am I doing this wrong, guys? Am I not thinking this through properly? Okay. So it's a bit of a fiddle. I'm thinking maybe I could get one more on there. And it's getting a bit of a tight squeeze now. It's a little fiddly. I think 3 is good because it's going to be a bit of a squash getting a 4th one on there. It doesn't look so good though, does it? What do you think, guys? I'm going to have to try and get a 4th one on, I think. I don't like that big piece of silver showing like that. Let's see if I can bend it outwards a little bit. That might make it easier. I think I said in my last video I hate fiddly things, and this is fiddly. But I think I've managed it. It's just a case of getting that back in there and it not all falling out on me. And finding the hole. Come on, where are you? Alright guys, I'm making a pig's ear of this. I'm just going to go off camera. Basically I'm just going to push the pin all the way through till it's out through to the other side of this hole, but it's too fiddly for me to do it on camera, so I'll be back. Oh, okay, I managed to do it, and I just did a little hook with the remaining piece of wire at the bottom, so everything's in place. Now, as I was doing this, and because it was so fiddly, I'm wondering if maybe it would just be better to use some jewellery wire instead of one of these eye pins, so that way you can cut the wire longer and you've got more wire to play with. But I managed it, and this is the finished piece, guys, as far as the tutorial is concerned. Obviously you've got this little head at the top. You could add a jump ring or some beads or whatever it is you want to do to dress it up, but I just present it to you like this. And I hope you enjoyed it, guys. I'm sorry I was a little bit all over the place, but I just wanted to get something out to you. But there you go, guys, there it is, and I thank you for watching and catch you later. Bye.